Hello everyone, welcome, new video here. That's going to be just a quick video, a little overview of this whole run, everything we did, just going through it. Took some little notes here about my rest count. So as you can see, you have the act approximately where we were when we use rest. Usually it's before or after some important place, or it could be inside if it's a very long dungeon like Treason, for example. We rest inside because going through on unfair, just the wall place is very tough, at least with what we did here with a range team. Maybe with melee you can do all in one. I don't know. I should try one day. So as you can see, Act 3 is by far the biggest one, and it's the one where we spent the most time. It's a little bit weird because now, the Children of Morta DLC should be in Act 2, but when we played, it was out at this time where we were doing Act 3, so that's why it's here. But yeah, it should... because you already have so much content to do. When you do Act 3, you have all the gun run Ulbrig's quest, you have the Midnight Isle DLC, a ton of quests, really, ton of places to visit, big dungeons like Ivory Sanctum, Wintersun is a big area. You have to come back to do the quest, Mad Elf, Half Elf Woman quest, Spectre quest. So yeah, Act 4 is very short because you get one free rest. I was surprised that we have only 2 at first. I went checked a little bit if we made a mistake. I think we didn't make a mistake. If you see that we forgot one rest, feel free to tell me. So yeah, you have after that just a note on the Azata Mythic Path. You can get spells that get you back spells up to level 5 or level 7 with Heroes Never Surrender. Level 5, I think it's Joy of Life. Really strong spells, really strong ability. You have one spell that's level 2 that makes it so that you can't remove fatigue and remove exhaustion on everyone. You have one spell that refills abilities on everyone. so you can regenerate, for example, Scylla Leonhands, so she can too remove fatigue and exhaustion and all that, so you can really go a long way with very few spells once you are late in the Azata path, and by Act 4 and 5 this is what you get. Dance of Mask DLC, you were basically forced to do that. Like, I think you have no choice. You have a free rest in this area, and then you have one where you kinda, I think you have to rest to progress. Maybe not, you tell me, I am not sure. I was just going through it like that. Then at some point you have no spells left, so might as well just rest. And then that's before the big dungeons, just for the food buffs. Basically, those, I mean, it's not just for the food buffs, especially for Threshold. We still needed all the buffs that we could have, because it's very tough. Didn't expect this to be tough, so tough, because I mean, I only played on Unfair up to start of Act 5 before. I never finished the game in Unfair, so this time it was finished in Unfair. So yeah, this part I didn't know what to expect much, but it was nice to see, so there you go. So here you have the whole list, minus the 2 from the rest count, so that gives us 37 rest total for the whole game. That's not taking into account all the free rest that you get in the game. I think you have some in Act 2. You have one at the end of Act 1. When you go into Act 2, you have a free rest after you beat what's her name again? Minago and not Stanton. Stanton isn't here to fight you, but Minago, yeah. You have a free rest. You have a free rest after. Is it Last Chapel? You get attacked during the night. Basically, you get to a point, you get a free rest, and you get attacked. So that's your free rest. You have one in chapter 3. I was a little bit surprised, but when you visit the temple, what's it called? Temple of Erastil, I think. There's a Temple of Erastil. If you get the relics, you get a free rest, basically. So that was very nice. Didn't know that. Really cool to get a free rest at this point. It really helps with the really shortening the list of rest that we have to do. Let me talk a little bit about the restrictions. So that was what we talked about in the first episode, and yeah, you can see that we pretty much did everything we wanted to. Turn-based, I will talk about turn-based. I will talk about inevitable access item. Inevitable access. Yeah, I will talk about range party too, because only one melee companion and no animal companions. We talked about this and Aivu. By going Azata, we get Aivu as a companion, and you don't really have a choice but to have it with you. So you can't. I don't think you can just tell him to go away. I didn't see any dialogue to tell Aivu to go away. But the truth is that at first it's nice but not too much, because in Unfair something attacks Aivu is dead very fast. Just attacking, and it's very hard to get him to a respectable level of AC. That's why I don't count him as an animal companion, because you don't have the advantage of animal companions, really. You can't into crane style, you can't into some specific buffs. What's the level 5 one? There's a level 5 spells that give you a ton of strength and a ton of not a ton of, but you get some extra natural armor. So yeah, you don't have that. At first is way too little. I mean it's a she. She is way too small to be used as a mount, and we wouldn't use it as a mount anyway since we are ranged. But after like chapter 4 or 5, that's when Aivu really shines for me, because there was a lot. I mean, especially when we did Midnight Isle DLC in chapter 4. No, it was chapter 5, I think. Chapter 4 or 5. I mean both, mostly. You have a lot of enemies that have some sort of concealment from range. Winds of Vengeance, it's called. It gives you total concealment against ranged attack. It's very hard for our range to do alpha strike and kill the necessary enemy. So that's where I woo when we get pounce with the Skald song Beast Totem. Yeah, when we get that, it really helps with Aivu and Scylla. Scylla basically couldn't hit until anything, unless she rolled a 20. She couldn't hit anything until Act 4 or 5, when we start to accept the Rage song. So yeah, Aivu, very glass cannon. Very glass cannon. Good damage, I'd say. Decent, not crazy. But when range doesn't work, you are very happy to have Aivu. But that doesn't. She doesn't count really as a animal companion, and you have no choice but to have her for. And you can't build her into a range companion. So. That's that. But otherwise, we only have one melee. Really, we only have Scylla or Ulbrig. Everyone else was going ranged. So That was the plan. Even social, we built him into a caster. With pretty much almost no success when we played the threshold fight. We had to defend with all the other companions that we don't use, and he was having a hard time to hit anything because we didn't have time to buff. Too, that's true. But he was hitting pretty hard, but he was very rarely hitting stuff. So yeah, range party, no inevitable excess item. Yeah, so those are those items. The first ones you get are very strong for the time you get it, and I'm talking about the ring, +7 AC. It's a very strong ring at the start of Act 2. It's very busted. It's stronger than what we have even in at the end game. Even in Threshold, I didn't have a ring this powerful. So yeah, you have the belt from Playful Darkness, extremely strong. It was really hard for me to say, okay, I will sell this one, because you really, I think if Arushale had this item, I mean, she would have murdered even more than she used to. So yeah. But later you have just a cloak and helmet, +8 to very late. You have +8 to attribute, mental attribute, in charisma, wisdom. So yeah, no summons. There's a ton of moments where it was really hard when you had only one melee. You wish you had summons to take some hits. You wish you had summons so that will get hit instead of Ivu, so Ivu didn't die. So that made things quite a lot more interesting, let's say that. No mercenaries. I quite like this one. I don't mind it. It's very fun to build around a companion. That's what I like to do. I don't like too much mercenaries, because you will just pick the most broken thing and run with it, and it will be not fun, not very much fun to go with it. I mean, those restrictions as a whole are very much for the sake of fun to me. Even at some point it can be frustrating when you are range and you, for example, you don't. Someone has Wind of Vengeance and you don't hit. You only hit concealment. Can be frustrating, but it's okay. Animal companion, yeah, we'll talk about that. Ivu isn't really an animal companion. You can't make a. She doesn't gain AC with level like animal companion. Ivu doesn't scale like an animal companion, sadly. But she gets spells, so that's very nice for us that she gets some spells. She can use scrolls. She's a nice companion, but not an animal companion, really. Not twice the same archetype, except Scylla and Umber. Scylla, the issue is that it basically not break our build, but if we remove the what's it called? The same as Amber, Stigmatized Witch. She's the tank. She has to tank. She has to survive early and later, and mid and later. If she can't do that, better not to play unfair, to be honest. So that's why I made one exception for this, and that's Scylla. Otherwise, other than that, everyone had different archetypes, so no 10 companion with a vivisectionist, and believe me, that was possible. It was absolutely possible to do that, and it would have gained much more damage for many of them. So, and utility. So yeah, just to avoid all the same build, vivisectionist into every single tank, into Stigmatized Witch, or we could use other witch, maybe other witch archetype, but I think I tried to really diversify the builds that I made for this run, and that's what I was going for, and that's why I made this restriction. So I think we ended up with okay results. At least it was working for unfair, so I'm good with it. Turn-based only. We had some maybe bugs at some time where we were supposed to have a full action, but we didn't. So sometimes you just hit the T on the keyboard and you hit back, and then you are back into you just switch in between real time and turn based, just to remove the bug. So sometime you had to do that, and it wasn't to break the game or kite or do things like that. It was just oh, there's that one time in it was in Ulbricht's quest in Act 5, where I didn't know where the enemies were and I was losing patience. We had a bunch of Smilodons attacking the camp. It was the camp defense, and I don't know where they were, so I just turned off the turn base and walk all over the place until I found them. It was just me losing patience with moving all my companions one by one to get to each area. That's it. It was not to gain any kind of advantage over the game. It was just I was tired. And we played, I remember we had very low FPS, really big issue with the FPS during that moment. So yeah, that's that. So I think we did what we could the best way. Wait a second, that's not what we wanted. It was test of the stars stone. The achievement, the one we wanted the most is sadistic game design, and we got it right at the end. It was okay. Test of the Starstone, well, it goes with it by the simple fact that we are doing unfair mode. So yeah, that's it. That's it for this whole playthrough. I hope it was fun for you. It was fun for me to plan for it, to play it, and it's fun to be finished with it too. By the time you reach Act 5, you're like, okay, I've seen the game, I've seen all the encounters, there's really nothing new that can really test my limit. Maybe Threshold was a little bit more exciting because it was one step above everything else and it was difficult. We first went unbuffed in Threshold and we were completely submerged, completely destroyed. So yeah, we tried to do that again with the full buffs, the full might of the Azatar, and it was a little bit easier, let's say. So yeah, that's it for me. I'll see you in the next videos for the build that I'm going to release, all the builds for this run. And I'm going to put some build next for other paths. Usually I think I'm going with the less popular path like Aeon, Unmerged, Angel, Demon. Yeah, so I'm going to try that. Try to put some builds for those companion builds too. We'll see. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.